All right, and we are live. And again, we're trying to go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I talked to the support team and they told me what I did wrong. Of course, it is user error, but hey, one of these days we'll figure it out. The good news for you is, as you can see, you don't need to be technology savvy in order to trade. So let's see. If YouTube is streaming right now, it says sending data. Should be there any moment. Otherwise, we could just reconnect the channel here really quick. All right, not yet seeing live on YouTube. So why don't you give me just 1 second, because today is a really exciting session. And I want to make sure and that you're rested. I had some fun trading the markets today, if you are trading already. So it still says Facebook online, YouTube, streaming. Hopefully we'll get there. If not, no worries. We'll get started here right now. It is really odd, but hey, it is what it is. So today is Monday, April 22nd. And we're going to talk about what's happening in the markets right now. And yes, today there was something, well, quite exciting happening. So let's talk about this. Well, let's talk about the stocks that I'm trading right now. We will talk about Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant, because I believe it's important to know the concept. And we're going to talk about these federal rent checks. So you might have received some emails about how you can collect federal rent checks. And is this a scam or is this legit? So we want to make sure that we are exploring it. I will explain to you what that is and what's behind it. Now, if this is your first time here, hi, I am Markus Heitkoetter, and I show people how to generate an income by trading stocks and options. But not how you might think. You see, people come to me because they want to make enough money with trading so that they can quit their job and spend more time with their families and travel a lot like I do. And even though they already have saved some money, they tell me that they don't get enough returns on their money to be able to quit their jobs anytime soon. And they tell me that that makes them feel stuck and frustrated. Now, if this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone. Lots of people go through this, and here's what I tell them. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And trading can be simple, and I will prove it to you. But first, let's talk about what's happening. Here's an article that I found this morning that I wanted to share with you because I thought it was really exciting here. So the article that I found was about the fastest growing and shrinking counties in America. So as you can see, there's a lot going on here on the West Coast. This is Texas, so here's Dallas, this is Houston, here is San Antonio, and then you see this dot here. And apparently this is Austin. So if you go to this article, and I'll be happy to link to this article right below here, it's on Business Insider, you can actually go to these counties, to the website. It's from the U.S. Census. Let me make this a little bit better. And then you can see how your county is doing. Let's see, what county are you in? Let's look it up for a moment before we start talking about the markets. So let's just see here the resident population change. What are you in? I'm in Texas. What county are you in? I'm in Texas. And the county that I'm in is called Travis County. And Travis County, geez, this is really not easy to see. Anyhow, Travis County was only growing by 1% a year. So I believe that Travis County is this one dot that you see here, right here. If I zoom in a little bit. Anyhow, I thought this was pretty interesting. And you can look it up here, or I can do it for you live. But you know what? Let's just move on. I was just curious what your county is. Pinellas County, Florida, says Debbie. Let's just take a quick look at this. I'm just curious, if we go to Florida, and of course you can do it yourself. It's just so much fun to do these things. Okay, Pinellas. Oh, there's not that many counties in Florida. Jeez. Here we go. Pinellas County has been growing. Oh, they don't do here. Not in percent. Probably picked the wrong one. Hey, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We will talk about the markets here in just a moment. But hey, if you're enjoying the show thus far, please make sure that you hit the like button or one of these thumbs up that you see on your screen, or maybe even a heart if you want. And also make sure that you're subscribing to this channel if you're watching it on YouTube, and hit the little bell so that you know whenever I'm going live. Okay, let's talk about what happened in the markets today. Let's take a look at this. Markets were pretty mixed today. So here you see the Dow Jones. We opened lower and then we're diddling around pretty much all day. There's a 3-minute chart. This is what's happening intraday here. So as you can see, the Dow slightly down 50 points. S&P slightly up 0.1%. The NASDAQ, let me make this a little bit bigger so that we can all see it easily here. The NASDAQ up, 0.3%. So this is what's going on. So what were the big news today? It was actually about crude oil. So crude oil today made a move because it was in the news that some sanctions might be lifted. And today crude oil went up 2.6%, as you can see here. And when crude oil goes up, it means that some of the stocks that are connected to crude oil are going up. For example, ExxonMobil, XOM. It's one of the stocks that was the winner today, up 2.1%. And there's another one, Chevron, CVX, that also up today 1.7%. But hey, as you can see, overall, right? I mean, Chevron hasn't been doing really well over the past, what do we have here, year, from 2018 to 2019. And you know my opinion. I mean, stay away from these mainstream stocks that are influenced heavily by the news. Trade what you see, not what you think. So what I like to use is my software, the PowerX Analyzer, to determine the stocks that I personally want to trade. So let's talk about the stocks that I have in my portfolio and what I did with them. So Boot, we talked about this. Boot was one of the companies that I had in my portfolio. It did have a black bar. So there's 3 ways to exit, right? I mean, either with a profit or with a loss, or when you see a change of momentum. And this is what I saw here. So this morning I exited Boot. Let's bring it up here really quick. So Boot, I exited at $30.05 this morning. And you see, this is the advantage of following the black bar exits. Throughout the day, it was dropping another $1. But you see, I already got out because PowerX Analyzer was telling me right now it is time to get out. So I avoided a larger loss by following the black bar exit. Now, since we didn't see each other on Thursday, I believe, GDS was a stock that also here gave me 2 black bars actually. So this gave me a black bar last Wednesday. So I exited this on Thursday. So I no longer have GDS. RYAM is another stock that I have. So let's talk about RYAM. So here we are. It's looking good. And if we jump over to the charts, you will see that RYAM, I entered at 14.19, already took profits on the way up there. So right now it's a free trade for me, which is fantastic because today we are trading at 14.62. But we will get a black bar today, so we'll exit this tomorrow. What is another stock that I have? Let's jump over to PowerX Analyzer. So SLCA, it's another stock where I got an entry signal a few days ago. And SLCA was behaving really nicely today. If you see this, SLCA today was jumping up 3.5%. And so, yes, my position nicely in the green. And this is what I like. Let's just make sure. Let me double check if you're still all here. We don't need this. Just wanted to make sure that you can still see and hear me. If you can, please type in a comment real quick, and because I want to make sure before I talk about the stocks that I tried to enter today that you can hear and see me. So if you can, type in a quick Y or yes and say can hear you, and I'll check really quick with my team because we're trying this magic thing of dual broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook and it seems to work. Okay, so 2 stocks that came up today in the scanner for me that I tried to enter was NEO. So NEO really looked like a great stock. Trying to sell at $18.89. And again, I want prices come to me. And today, let me just see, we are here. This did not happen, so it was an attempt. Didn't get in, which is absolutely fine. Okay, cool. So everybody can see and hear me, which is perfect. Another stock that I liked is VSTO. This is a buy signal, so buying here. VSTO has found a bottom, and right now the 3 indicators are telling me it is likely to go up. So I attempted to go into VSTO today. Didn't get in because I wanted to get in at $8.79. As you can see, Forex Analyzer tells me exactly what to do. And if we look at VSTO, it never went to the high here. So it went as high as $8.65. And again, my entry signal was at $8.79. So anyhow, if you're interested in learning more about how I pick these stocks and what I do here, the 3 indicators that I like to use, please go to mytradingroutine.com. It's a website where you find a video that I recorded for you. This video is 35 minutes long and shows you exactly the 3 indicators that I like to use. It shows you exactly when I enter, how I limit my risk, when I take profits, and basically the whole shebang. It's mytradingroutine.com. If somebody could put it in here in the comments, that would really help me out, because apparently when I'm doing something with the comments here, all the live streams explode. So thank you for putting it in here. It's mytradingroutine.com. So before we talk about Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, which I believe is really important, plus also before we talk about these rent checks that you can collect, apparently, the federal rent checks, let me know, is this helpful thus far? If it is, please type in a comment. Let me know if this is helpful. And also click like if you find it helpful at all. And yeah, make sure that you leave a comment, and I will answer your comments because I really appreciate it towards the end of this live stream, which is usually approximately half an hour. So what I want to do is quickly connect my handy dandy iPad. So I have this ginormous iPad that I can draw on. So, and I want to connect this for you to see. I probably need to first connect it to the network, because I want to draw a few things for you that are really important. So let's see, screen mirroring, looking for Apple TV, doesn't seem to work just yet. Wait for it, wait for it. There we go. All right. So we need to enter a code 4448, as you can see. So after we enter the code, fantastic, we can go to my handy dandy notepad, and there we are. All right. Geez, this is really, really big. Let me see if we can make this a little bit smaller. It'll be fine. Okay. So, let's see. Talking about the federal rent checks in just a moment. First, let's do this. Have you heard about the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki? Actually, you know what? Let me just hold on. I want to come on full screen here right now. Where is my handy dandy mouse? There we go. So, have you heard about the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki? See, in this book, he introduces the cash flow quadrant. So, what is it and how do you use it? That's what we're going to talk about today. So, Robert Kiyosaki introduced the cash flow quadrant in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. By the way, have you read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? If you have, type in a yes in the comment, and if not, just say not yet, and I highly recommend that you're reading it. So, what is it about this cash flow quadrant that is in the book? Well, Robert Kiyosaki says that we all fall into one of these 4 quadrants. We are either E, where we are employed, meaning that we exchange time for money, which, by the way, is the worst thing that you can do, right? Being employed means that you are making somebody else rich. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a good way to get started. This is how I got started. I used to work for IBM, as you know, and it's a good way to make some money to move into one of the other quadrants. But let's talk about the other quadrants first of all. So, S means that you are self-employed. And this means that you don't have a job. Actually, it kind of means that now you are no longer making somebody else rich, that now you're working for yourself. But let's be honest, for those of you who are self-employed, how many of you can really take a 6-week vacation and your business is running without you? Often being self-employed just means that you're working the same hours as being employed or even longer hours, right? And you are your business. When you don't work, you don't make any money. So this is where Robert Kiyosaki says, on this side, it is all about active income. You don't work, you don't make any money. So the idea here is to move to the other side of the quadrant. This is B, which means that you're owning a big business, that you have employees, that you have a team, that you have systems that are working hard for you. And it is always the dream of somebody who is in the S quadrant, right, to move into the B quadrant. But as we all know, it is not that easy. And most business owners get stuck in the S quadrant where they still produce active income. Anyhow, on this side here, we are talking about passive income. And building a business that actually produces money for you is one way to do this. Now, the last quadrant that you see here is I. And I means that you are an investor. What does it mean being an investor? Investor means that you have money working hard for you. And this is what really attracted me. When I still worked at IBM and I was an employee, I realized that if I'm not rich, I'm making somebody else rich. So I wanted to move as quickly as possible from the E quadrant into the I quadrant, where I have money working hard for you. Now, what does it mean being in the I quadrant? It simply means that now you find a way to invest money that it produces a return for you. And for me, there's only 2 ways how you can do this. One of them is obviously trading stocks and options, and the other way for me is investing in real estate. Now, I'm doing both, and trading is my favorite way to generate an income and have money working hard for me. And here's why. When trading, you don't have to deal with tenants and blown water heaters and ACs. And also, if you're new to this whole game of generating an income with money, when trading, you can get started with only $10,000. Try to do this with real estate. These days, if you want to invest in real estate, you need to put 20% down. And if you have a $200,000 investment opportunity, right, which is possible maybe here in Texas and maybe in Florida, but in other parts of our country, it's not. Anyhow, if you just want to buy one home for $200,000, it means that you have to bring $40,000 to the table. Now, I own 2 apartment complexes that I bought for $2.8 and $2.3 million, so combined $5.1 million. Now, right now, I am selling them. They are on the market for $9 million. So, of course, this is where money is working hard for me, right? Where money produces money for me. But trust me, I have been trying to sell these apartment complexes since probably November last year. So when doing it stocks, right? I mean, this morning I sold Boot. We talked about this, right? I mean, it was one of the stocks that I wanted to sell, and it was really easy. Boom, of just selling it, right? So this is why, as you can see, even though I'm making millions investing in real estate, I prefer trading stocks because it is much more flexible, and for me personally, it gives me more control and less dependency on others, okay? So anyhow, the idea here is if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep. You will work until you die. So this is why I highly recommend that you find a way to go from wherever you are in this quadrant, especially if you are on the left side, right here on the left side, right? So if you are still employed, find a way to have money working hard for you. And for me personally, I believe the best way to get started is trading stocks and options, because there's only 3 ways that you need to know when trading stocks and options. First, what to trade. Sorry, the first is what to trade, right? And this is where, again, I have a software that makes it easy for me to know exactly what stock I should trade. It's called PowerX Analyzer. If you're interested in this and would like to learn more, please go to mytradingroutine.com. That is a website where I explain in detail of how I find the best stocks to trade, when to enter, because that's the second thing that you need to know. When exactly do you buy? And I personally like to use 3 indicators. It's the RSI, stochastics, and MACD. And again, if you're interested in learning more, go to mytradingroutine.com. And the last thing that you need to know when trading stocks and options is when to exit, right? When to exit with a profit or when to exit with a loss. So these are the only 3 things. And compared to investing in real estate, that to me sounds much easier. It sounds much more doable, especially if you're new to trading and if you're a beginner. So again, find a way to get started somehow. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. And I believe that Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant is a great illustration on how to do this. All right, was this helpful? If so, please leave a comment and let me know if this was helpful. And I am looking at all the comments and try to answer them right now in this video. And if I can, I will make sure that I answer your comments in writing over the next day or 2. So I appreciate all your comments, and please feel free to share this video if you find this helpful. All right, so let's put this aside, because now we are going to talk about something else that I think is really interesting. So let's talk about this. So what is the deal with federal rent checks? Right now, there are a lot of ads and emails going around that you can collect federal rent checks of up to $7,000 per month. So is this legit or is this a scam? And that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, so unless you have been living under a rock, you probably, let me just move a few things out of the way here so that I can show this to you. You probably have received an email that looks something like this. So these emails are right now going around where it says, "Dear reader, right now any American taxpayer can get simple instructions and position themselves to collect federal rent checks of up to $6,945 over time, possibly more." Now, let me ask you, have you received any of these emails, or have you seen any of these ads? Because this is the hype right now. And it says that there's a little known investment strategy to start collecting yours right here. When you click on this link and follow it, it'll bring you to a website. Right here, oh my gosh, it's a long website. So I'm going to the very top of this website that basically talks about these federal rent checks. Please review the following information to see how you could receive $1,795 or more every single month. So what is behind this? What is the premise of this? And I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let's go back here. So let me just give you a brief background, and then we talk about whether this is legit or whether this is a scam, because I believe that you need to know this. Now, the government needs office space, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it is the FBI or CIA or the Department of Justice, or, I mean, the government needs office space. And these days, they are leasing it. You see, the government used to own all the buildings, but years ago, in order to spruce up the balance sheet, they sold the buildings because this gets a lot of money in, right? And now they're leasing it back. There are other advantages for the government to lease their own buildings. It looks better on their balance sheet and in their budgets. Now, I looked it up, and there's actually 9,600 government buildings that they are renting back. Now, when they rent it back, obviously, the government has to pay rent. And this is the premise of these federal rent checks. So, the question now is, how can you benefit from these federal rent checks, right? And this is where the newsletter comes in. Now, this newsletter that's being sold here, let me just go back and show it to you one more time. It's by a company called Money Mac Press. Now, Money Mac Press is a newsletter provider. They have really clever copywriters. I've met some of them. They're incredibly talented. And so they're selling newsletters for $47 a year or $99 for 2 years. Now, do you need to have the newsletter in order to understand what this is all about? No, you don't. No, you don't. So let me help you to save some money and explain to you what is behind all this if you're seeing these ads or if you have received one of these emails. Now, these government buildings are in a so-called REIT. What is an REIT? It's a real estate investment trust. So we don't have to go into a lot of detail. In a nutshell, what it means is that an REIT is managing these buildings, and they need to pass on 95% of their profits to investors. So you can buy shares in an REIT. An REIT is trading at an exchange like a stock, and this is what makes this concept so intriguing, right? But we'll look into this to see if it is worth for you doing this. Again, so what do you need to know? First of all, the government doesn't own their own buildings anymore. They have sold them. So somebody else owns the buildings, and this is an REIT. They are paying rent, and you can get a share, a part of this REIT, by buying it like a stock that pays dividends. So there are 2 REITs that have these government buildings. And again, this is where the newsletter probably explains it much fancier than I do, but you know me, I like to cut through the bullshit and tell you straight up what it is. So one of them, it's called GOV. So GOV is one of these REITs, and oops, that's not it. It's DEA, sorry. It's DEA, that is one. And if you go to this, you see it's right now trading at $17.51, and it is giving you a dividend of 5.78%. Oops, you don't see it. I need to share my screen. Here we go. So the dividend right now is 5.78%. So it is paying quarterly dividends like any other stock. Here is the other REIT that has these government buildings. It is called OPI, and OPI is paying 7.21%. So that's what you see here. Now, here's the challenge. The investment in this REIT makes 6 to 7% per year. And now you might say, wow, this is fantastic, right? I'm getting risk-free, 6 to 7% per year. No, that's the fallacy here. It is not risk-free because these REITs can go up and down in price. So let's actually take a look at those as we jump over to the charts, and let's take a look at DEA. So even though you're getting 6% per year, let's see how this stock or REIT, right, that trades like a stock, has been performing over the past year. Now, do you see how this has been going down from $22 to $17? So there's the downside. Like with every stock, you can lose money here. Let's take a look at the other one, OPI. So OPI, look at this, even worse. OPI used to trade at $90 and is now trading at $27. Okay, so anyhow, long story short, how does it work with these federal rent checks? Is this legit? First of all, yes, it is. However, it's a clever story around saying invest in an REIT that owns office buildings that are being rented by the government. You can make 6 to 7% per year, but as you can see, there's a huge downside. So for me personally, it is not worth doing it because my goal is to make 60 to 70% per year. So not 6 to 7%. And I'm doing it by actively trading stocks. And if you're interested in learning how I personally do it, please go to mytradingroutine.com. There's a free video for you that shows you 35 minutes long of what exactly I do. So now you know what's behind these federal rent checks. Make your own informed decision. For me personally, I don't think it's worth it. All right. Hope this helps. And if you found this video helpful, please make sure that you are subscribing to it, that you like it, and leave a comment. And if you're listening to this here right now on the podcast, because I'm turning this into podcast episodes, please make sure that you rate the podcast. It would really mean a lot to me. All right. So for those of you who are here right now live, was this helpful? And if so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and also on Facebook. Make sure that you like this page. And I hope that you enjoyed watching this show as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Now, if you know anybody who might find these videos helpful, please feel free to share it. And now let's take a look at some of the comments because I appreciate you being there and want to make sure that I answer all of your comments. So I need to scroll down and look at my big ass monitor, which is right over here. And Carlos, it's so good to see you. Hey, Golden Eagle. Connie, nice to see you. Vitali, okay, great. Christian is here. Christopher is here. CG says, yes, you can hear me from Houston, just down the road. Carlos is asking, why not try more expensive shares? That is an excellent question. So why would you go for less expensive shares? Well, the main reason for me is what I have found based on my experience that shares that are trading below $250 tend to move nicer. So shares that are trading around $20, $30, maybe $50 typically move, as we have seen it earlier here, 3%. Let me just switch back to the charts here. So even here you see this OPI today, 3.5%. So that's what I like about the less expensive shares. They move much more. Let's take a look at VSTO. That's another stock that I was looking at. You see here today moved down, but it doesn't matter. It moved to the upside or downside 3.8%. I love stocks that are moving nicely, and with more expensive stocks, usually they only move maybe 0.5%. You see they're behaving a little bit like the overall market, like the Dow, moving 0.8%, maybe 0.5%. And I like to trade stocks that are, oops, that's not where I wanted to go. Here we go. I like to trade stocks that are moving 3 to 4% in a day. So, Carlos, is this making sense of why not more expensive shares? Okay, good. Trent says, sorry, first live for me, PowerX Optimizer. Is there something available for purchase? Sure. Just go to mytradingroutine.com. You'll find way more information there. And if you want, you can have a demo. So Rachel or Paul will happy to show you the software and see if this is a good fit for you. It might be, might not be. Hey, you never know until you figure it out. So this is why Rachel and Paul will be happy to talk to you about this. Okay. All right, Tammy, so good to see you here. Lorena said, read the book a long time ago, don't remember much. I think it's a good book, right? About, what is it? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's what we were talking about. Tammy Bird, the best site for new traders, starting with 1K. Tammy, I see that you're on Facebook. I recommend that you hop over to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, there's more than 300 videos. You will find a playlist. Let me actually show this to you. For those of you who are right now on YouTube, good for you. But I want to just show you, Tammy, how you can get good information. So I'm hopping over here to YouTube. And right now you see, this will be interesting, the live stream here. Anyhow, if you go to youtube.com, see it's called Rockwell Trading 2008, you will see Trading for Beginners, Tammy. So there's a playlist, and there's a bunch of videos in this playlist that talks about what after-hour trading is, was a bull market versus a bear market is, trading secrets revealed, and you see there's lots of videos. The best stockbroker, the difference between a stop and a limit order. So you will find this super helpful, I hope, because this is why I'm doing these videos. And just hop over there, Tammy, and that'll be good. Drive Drum says, that's why I love trading. No dealing with equipment, customers overhead. Yes, it's just you and the market. Drive Drum, absolutely. And there's a comment from YouTube here. And all right, good. So when I'm submitting the trade on the stock, the power analyzer picks for me up, should I place the trades as GTC or day? Use a day order for your entries and GTC for your exits. And it's a great question. Let me write this down. I will make a video around this. So I'm writing it down because you give me great ideas. GTC versus day order that then I can put on YouTube here. Good. Lorena says it is day. Lorena, you're absolutely right. Okay, good. Ruffin says, what's your point of view about using leverage to increase fastly income? Leverage is a double-edged sword. It can work for you as well against you. When you know what you're doing, leverage is fantastic. For stock trading, I highly recommend that you have a margin account. What does a margin account mean? It means that you have a leverage of 1 to 2. Now, compared to other forms of trading like futures trading or forex trading, where you have leverage of 1 to 50 or 1 to 500, 1 to 2 as leverage sounds a little bit boring, right? But trust me, in the beginning, you want to make sure that you're profitable, because with leverage, you can make more money, but you can also lose more money. So focus on consistency first, and then, Ruffin, absolutely, please use leverage to take your account to the next level very quickly. And important disclaimer, keep in mind that this is when you can also lose a lot of money. All right. Anyhow, so good to see you all there. I am glad that it kind of worked out. In the beginning, was a little bit slow until we had both channels connected. And again, we will figure it out. This concludes today's show. Again, feel free to share this with anybody. And can you do me a favor right now? Just click quickly like, and especially if you're on Facebook, you can hit the like button several times on your phone. Like. Let's see how many. Let's see if we can get 100 likes here on YouTube right now. I believe you can only hit like once, but you also have this little chat box where right now you can just put a bunch of smiley faces in there. That would be fantastic, because this way I will see that you're here and that you're enjoying it. I enjoy doing these shows for you. I'll be back tomorrow, and you have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care, and bye-bye.